ഹായ് എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. അപ്പോൾ കൊറോണയുടെ കാലമാണ്, കോവിഡിന്റെ കാലമാണ്. എവ്രി വൺ ഇസ് അറ്റ് ഹോം. സോ ആദ്യമേ എവ്രി വൺ സ്റ്റേ ഹോം, സ്റ്റേ ഹെൽത്തി. ഓക്കെ, ബിക്കോസ് ICAI ഈസ് വെയിറ്റിംഗ് ടു കണ്ടക്ട് ദി എക്സാമിനേഷൻ. സോ എല്ലാവരും ഹെൽത്തി ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ ഇരിക്കുക. ആരും ഉറങ്ങി സമയം കളയരുത്. എല്ലാവരും ഇത്രയും ദിവസങ്ങൾ കിട്ടിയത് മര്യാദക്ക് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് വൃത്തിക്ക് ഇരുന്ന് പഠിക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് മേക്ക് യുവർ പാരന്റ്സ് പ്രൗഡ്, മേക്ക് യുവർ നിയർ ആൻഡ് ഡിയർ വൺസ് പ്രൗഡ് ഓഫ് യു. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ ആന്റണി സെബാസ്റ്റ്യൻ GSTയുടെ അപ്ഡേറ്റ്സിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയാനായിട്ടാണ്. ഇത് IPCC GSTയുടെ ക്ലാസ് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്തവർക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള സെഷനാണ്. സോ GSTയുടെ അപ്ഡേറ്റ്സ് മാത്രമായിരിക്കും ഇതിൽ പറയുന്നത്. This is for CA IPCC students. Okay, so first we will start with supply under GST. So ആദ്യം തന്നെ സപ്ലൈയിൽ പറയുമ്പോൾ സപ്ലൈ ബൈ വേ ഓഫ് ഗ്രാന്റ് ഓഫ് ആൽക്കഹോളിക് ലിക്കർ. നമുക്കറിയാം സെക്ഷൻ 9 സബ്സെക്ഷൻ 1 അനുസരിച്ച് ആൽക്കഹോളിക് ലിക്കർ ഈസ് ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് GST. ആൽക്കഹോളിക് ലിക്കർ GST ഇല്ല. യു പ്ലീസ് റെഫർ സെക്ഷൻ 9 സബ്സെക്ഷൻ 1 ഓഫ് GST. അപ്പോ ഒരു ചോദ്യം വന്നത്, ആൽക്കഹോളിക് ലിക്കർ ഫോർ ഹ്യൂമൻ കൺസംഷന് GST ഇല്ല, അപ്പോ അതിന്റെ ലൈസൻസിന് GST ഉണ്ടോ എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ചോദ്യം വന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോ ഒരു നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ ത്രൂ വന്നായിരുന്നു, ആൽക്കഹോളിക് ലിക്കറിന് GST ഇല്ല, പക്ഷേ ആൽക്കഹോളിക് ലിക്കർ എടുക്കുന്ന ലൈസൻസിന് ഉണ്ടോ എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. കാരണം ഇത് ആൽക്കഹോളിക് ലിക്കർ വിൽക്കണം എന്നാണെങ്കിൽ ലൈസൻസ് വേണമല്ലോ. ആ ലൈസൻസിന് GST ഉണ്ടോ എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ചോദ്യം. ആ ലൈസൻസിന് GST ഇല്ല എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ വന്നത്. ആൽക്കഹോളിക് ലിക്കറിന്റെ ലൈസൻസിന് മാത്രമാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഐ റീഡ് ദിസ്. സർവീസ് ബൈ വേ ഓഫ് ഗ്രാന്റ് ഓഫ് ആൽക്കഹോളിക് ലിക്കർ ലൈസൻസ് ഇസ് നൈദർ supply of goods nor supply of service. In terms of 7 subsection 2 of CGST Act, the government has notified the following activity or transaction undertaken by the state governments in which they are engaged as public authorities to be treated as neither supply of goods nor supply of service, namely service by way of grant of alcoholic liquor license against consideration in the form of license fee or application fee or by whatever name it is called. ആ ലൈസൻസ് ഒബ്റ്റെയിൻ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടുള്ള ഫീസ് ആണോ GST ഇല്ല. അപ്പൊ ഞാനൊരു ലിക്കർ സപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് താല്പര്യപ്പെടുകയാണ്. ഞാൻ അപ്പൊ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, ഗവൺമെന്റിനെ അപ്രോച്ച് ചെയ്യും, എന്താണ് എനിക്ക് ലൈസൻസ് വേണം എന്ന് ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ട്. ഗവൺമെന്റ് ചുമ്മാ എടുത്തു തരും ലൈസൻസ്? നോ, ഐ വിൽ ഹാവ് ടു പേ സം എമൗണ്ട് ടു ദം. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ലൈസൻസ് ഫീ. അതിന് GST ഇല്ല എന്നുള്ളതാണ് പറയുന്നത്. സോ റീഡിംഗ് ഫർദർ, നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ നമ്പർ 25/2019 CTR. What is the CTR? Central Tax Rate. Dated 30th September 2019. Notification number 24 corresponding ഇത് എവിടെയും വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്, ITR. What is this ITR? This is Integrated Tax Rate. R is for rate. A central tax rate and integrated tax rate. Why this two notification? Central tax means for the intrastate transaction notification. What is this ITR? Integrated tax rate means for the interstate transaction notification. Okay, so circular vannittunda. We'll see that circular also. Circular number 121/40/2019 GST dated 11 October 2019 has clarified that the above special dispensation, that is relaxation. What is that relaxation? ലിക്കറിന് GST ഇല്ല, അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ലിക്കർ ലൈസൻസിനും GST ഇല്ല എന്നുള്ള റിലാക്സേഷൻ applies only to the service, supply of service by way of grant of ലിക്കർ ലൈസൻസിന് മാത്രമേ ഇത് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യുകയുള്ളൂ by the state government. So only for liquor license this relaxation applies by the state government as an agreement between central and state and has no applicability. ഇതിന് ഈ റിലാക്സേഷൻ, ഈ ഡിസ്പെൻസേഷന് യാതൊരുവിധ ആപ്ലിക്കബിലിറ്റി ഇല്ല. എന്തിന് ആപ്ലിക്കബിലിറ്റി ഇല്ല? or priority value in relation to the grant of other licenses and privileges for a fee in other situations where GST is payable. So, മറ്റുള്ള ലൈസൻസുകൾ ലിക്കർ ലൈസൻസിന് മാത്രമേ GST ഇല്ലാതെയുള്ളൂ. വേറെ എന്ത് ലൈസൻസ് ഒബ്റ്റെയിൻ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാലും അതിന് GST ബാധകം ആണ്. I hope it is clear. So it may be noted that services provided by government to business entities. ഇപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ലിക്കർ ലൈസൻസ് എടുക്കാനായിട്ട് താല്പര്യപ്പെടുവാണ്. So who will give me the liquor license? Government will give me the liquor license. So who is paying the license fee? When they give the license, I will pay the license fee to government, right? So who is receiving the amount? Government is receiving. Why they are receiving? Because they are providing some service to me. What service they are providing to me? They are providing the license to me. So in this case, we will proceed further. So service provided by the government by way of license to business entities, including by way of grant of privileges, licenses, mining rights, natural resources such as spectrum, etc., against payment of a consideration in the form of fee, royalty, etc., are taxable under GST. Okay, tax is required to be paid by the business entities. Tax is required to be paid by the business entities. How? On such service under reverse charge mechanism. ഏത് സെക്ഷനിലാണ് റിവേഴ്സ് ചാർജ് മെക്കാനിസം പറയുന്നത്? In which section reverse charge mechanism is being said? 9 subsection 3 പറയുന്നത്. What is 9 subsection 4? അതിലേക്ക് ഒന്നും തന്നെ ഞാൻ പോകുന്നില്ല. Not going into 9 subsection 4. Okay, it is unregistered. Now 9 subsection 4 reverse charge applicable only for real estate assessees. Okay, 9 subsection 4 is entirely removed and it's applicable only for real estate assessees as of now. Okay, 9 subsection 3 lana there are some list of services, on which what reverse charge is applicable. Edana all those students who have attended my class could remember the code word, right? GLI, SAD, RCM. Good looking individual is SAD. Why? RCM is required to be paid. G, government service. GTA, L, legal service. I, insurer. S, sponsorship. S, security service. A, arbitral tribunal. D, director. R, recovery agent. C, copyright. And M is members of overseeing committee of RBI. So with this code word, those who haven't learned 9 subsection 3, please apply this good looking individual is SAD, because you have to pay RCM code to 9 subsection 3 and try to learn that. So in this case, who is applying for license? Business entity. Who is receiving the consideration? Government. So they are supplying something. Who is supplying? Government is supplying. What they are supplying? The license is being supplied. Who should pay? Actually, government should pay. But as per section 9 subsection 3, any service that which is supplied by the government to a business entity should pay under reverse charge. I hope it is clear to you. So this is called reverse charge. Why? Why it is called reverse charge? Actually, the person receiving the payment should pay. But in reverse charge, it is getting reversed. The liability is getting reversed to other person. That is the concept of reverse charge. So next point I'll discuss with you. So in this alcoholic liquor, no GST. So license also, no GST. For other license other than alcoholic liquor license, GST is applicable. Okay. So objective question, you can expect this one. Levy of GST on services, display of name or placing of name plates of donors in the premises of charitable organization receiving donation or gifts from individual. So you see this service of display of name and donating 10 lakhs to a charitable trust, or the listener, you are donating 10 lakhs to a charitable institution. So the sister or the pujari or the person in the mosque, all are happy. Oh, thank you, sir, for donating 10 lakhs. So what do you need in return for this? You will say what? Sir ji, please engrave my name in front of your charitable trust. That is the only requirement that which you have. So what is the benefit? The public will see your name. Okay, oh my God, my goodness, he's just learning CA. See how he contributed 10 lakhs to the charitable trust. So your name will get what? Popularity in the society. So that's your aim. That's the only requirement, a simple requirement. Or you are donating a board, the digital board, that's in the example, it's a digital board to a school. Your only requirement is to print your name just below the digital board. So every classroom in the digital board, your name will be there. That is the only requirement that which you have. So who is receiving the amount here? Charitable trust is receiving. What are they doing in return? They are displaying your name. So always remember, the person who receives the amount is a supplier. Always remember that. Person who receives the payment is the supplier of service. So in this case, charitable trust is receiving the amount. Avarkalla kittunne. So they are supplying something. What are they supplying? Displaying your wonderful, beautiful name engraved in front of the trust or printed on the digital board. Will that amount to supply is a question? No. കാരണം അവിടെ നിങ്ങളുടെ പേര് മാത്രമാണ് പ്രിന്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Only your name is printed. There is no commercialization. There is no commercialization or there is no intention to promote your business. Only your name is displayed there. നിങ്ങളുടെ പേര് മാത്രമേ അവിടെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നുള്ളൂ? Display ചെയ്യുന്നുള്ളൂ. So it is not a supply. So I'll read this. Individual donors, that is you, consider it as you. Individual donors provide financial help or any other support in the form of donation or gift to the institution such as religious institution, charitable organizations, schools, hospitals, orphanage, old age homes, etc. The recipient institution plays a nameplate. The recipient institution, the institution that which you donate the amount or receives the donation, recipient institution plays a nameplate on or similar such acknowledgement in their premises to express their gratitude. When the name of the donor is displayed in the recipient institution premises in such a manner which can be said to be an expression of gratitude, this is purely an expression of gratitude and public recognition of the donor's act of philanthropy and is not aimed at giving publicity to the donor in such a manner. How the publicity should not be, engane publicity avan paadilla, should not be aimed publicity in such a manner, it would be an advertising or promotion of his business. It should not be a promotion or advertisement or display of the name. Should not be an advertisement for your business. Angane avan paadilla. If it is not in such a way, then it is not a supply. If that publicity or engraving your name or display of your name will be a promotion or advertising for your business, then it will be a supply. Is that clear? I hope it is clear. So then it can be said that there is no supply in the form of donation. There is no obligation, quid pro quo, that is something for something in return. You are giving something and getting something in return. On the part of the recipient, there is no obligation. There is no obligation. So to do. Therefore, there is no GST liability for the consideration. So mere displaying of the name is not a supply. There is no GST liability. Okay. So some of the examples, this you can expect for examination, this question. So you see here, good wishes from Rajesh, printed underneath a digital blackboard, donated by Rajesh to a charitable institution. Good wishes from Rajesh. So just below the digital board, donated by Rajesh, underneath of each digital board, a message is being printed. Good wishes from Rajesh. And maybe his photo is also there. Okay. So donated by Srimati Malati Devi in memory of her father. Okay, in that, in memory of her father, there is no what intention of any promotion of any business in such a case. So now to conclude, Anita, to conclude the supply, you can see good wishes from Rajesh is being printed underneath a digital blackboard donated by Rajesh. This will not, there is no GST liability on such consideration. Okay. So consideration means that the amount that which is received by the trust. You can see I have included one image over here. See, this is a blackboard. Assume this is a blackboard contributed, donated by Rajesh. And just below that blackboard, what you have written, good wishes from Mr. Rajesh is written here. Okay, so this will not amount to what? Supply and GST is not what? Liability of GST will not arise in this situation. Another, the second example is what donated by Srimati Malati Devi in memory of her father. That's what written. Written on door or floor of the room or any part of the temple. This will also not result in a GST liability. So this is what, these are the two concepts, aspects discussed in the chapter of supply. One is liquor, definitely it is out of GST, 9 subsection 1 of GST Act, please refer. And the question was whether liquor license fee is liable to GST. No, liquor is exempt or not outside the ambit of GST. It's not exempt, outside, it's completely excluded. So liquor license fee is also what? Out of GST. Other license fee connected with it or anything other than what liquor license fee will be liable to GST. That's one point. The second is regarding the donation. Okay, so these are the two examples at which we discussed. So next chapter that which we are going to see is after charges there. Later on we'll discuss charge of GST, and after charge exemption, that also we will discuss later. Input tax credit chapter, there is a major change. I have included examples. So before learning input tax credit, exemption charge, we will see registrations, tax invoices and all, because only one page statutory updated, sir. So we'll just complete that one first. Okay, registration. So section 22, registration starts with section 22. You can also view my YouTube lessons that which I had uploaded when there was based on the previous statutory updates. Okay, so please listen to that. And I have generated code word how to remember the special category states. Okay, based on 20 lakhs. 10 lakhs and 40 lakhs turnover limit. Okay, stamp view is the code word that which was used over there. Please listen to that YouTube video also. Okay, so this is a statutory update recently introduced. That is, earlier for registration purpose, bank account was mandatory. Now statutory updates has come like bank account is required to be provided only after what receiving the registration certificate. Okay, at that point of uploading the documents for registration, bank account is not mandatory, it's optional. Okay, so bank account details may be furnished after obtaining registration. So if you have bank account, then upload the details. Okay, if you do not have, upload after obtaining registration. So this is a very good thing. So with the certificate, we can go and open the bank account if we do not have any other document with us. Okay, so I'll read this. So this is one of the update in registration. They have made it optional. Okay. While applying for registration on GST portal, a person is required to furnish the details of his bank account. Okay, this requirement, this requirement now been relaxed to a limited extent by inserting the rule 10 capital A to the CGS rule. In pursuance of the same, the registered person is allowed to furnish information with respect to details of bank account or any other information as may be required in common body in order to comply with any other provision soon after obtaining certificate of registration and a GST number, but not later than 45 days from the date of grant of registration. So there should not be a delay. Within 45 days, you should upload the details, okay, bank details, or date on which return required to be furnished under section 39 is due to be furnished, whichever is earlier. So 45 days from the grant of registration, or date on which required is to be furnished under section 39 is due. Okay, so ee rendu dateകളിൽ within 45 days-നകം ഏതാണ് earlier വരുന്നത് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം നമ്മള് ബാങ്ക് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കണം. ഓക്കെ, എപ്പോഴാണ് സെക്ഷൻ 39 ഡ്യൂ ഡേറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്? ഏപ്രിൽ ആണെങ്കിൽ മെയ് 20th, മെയ് ആണെങ്കിൽ ജൂൺ 20th, അങ്ങനെയാണ് അതിന്റെ ഡ്യൂ ഡേറ്റ് നിശ്ചയിക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഇത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്രോബ്ലം ബേസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 2 മാർക്സിനോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒബ്ജക്റ്റീവ് ആയിട്ടോ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യാവുന്ന പുതിയൊരു കാര്യമാണ് ഇത്. ഇനി നിങ്ങൾ ഈ 45 ഡേയ്സിന് നിങ്ങൾ ബാങ്ക് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്തില്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? So you please note down this, not later than 45 ദിവസം വൈകാൻ പാടില്ല. എന്ന് മുതൽ from the grant of registration or the due date under section 39, അന്ന് മുതൽ ഏതാണോ നോക്കുന്നത് 45 ഡേയ്സിന്റെ നോക്കുന്നത്, അതിനകത്തുള്ള ഏർലിയർ ഡേറ്റ് എടുത്തിട്ട് വേണം 45 ഡേയ്സ് നോക്കാനായിട്ട്. ഓക്കെ, relaxation is not available for those who have granted registration as TDS or TCS collectors. അപ്പോ TDSO TCS കളക്ടേഴ്സോ ആയിട്ട് ഈ രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ എടുക്കുന്നവർക്ക് ഈ റിലാക്സേഷൻ കിട്ടില്ല. സോ യു ക്യാൻ എക്സ്പെക്ട് എ ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്റ്റീവ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ ദിസ് ഓർ ആൻ ഒബ്ജക്റ്റീവ് ബേസ്ഡ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഓൺ ദിസ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ചേഞ്ച്. TDSO TCSO ആയിട്ട് രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ എടുക്കുന്നവർക്ക് ഈ ഓപ്ഷൻ അവൈലബിൾ അല്ല. In other words, a registered person has the option to give his bank account details after obtaining registration within 45 days from grant of registration or due date of furnishing a return. ഇതാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. ഡ്യൂ ഡേറ്റ് എങ്ങനെയാണ്? ഏപ്രിൽ എന്നുള്ളത് മെയ് 20, മെയ് എന്നുള്ളത് ജൂൺ 20, എല്ലാ പിറ്റേ സബ്സിക്വന്റ് മന്ത് 20th ആണ് അതിന്റെ ഡ്യൂ ഡേറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഈ രണ്ട് ഡേറ്റ്സ് എടുത്തിട്ട് 45 ഡേയ്സ് വിച്ച് എവർ ഇസ് ഏർലിയർ. ഓക്കെ, ആ ഡേറ്റിനകം എന്ത് ചെയ്തിരിക്കണം? അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കണം. ഇത് അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്തില്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? ഈ ഒരു റിലാക്സേഷൻ ആണ് കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത് അല്ലെ, അല്ലാണ്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യേ വേണ്ട എന്നുള്ളൊരു കാര്യമല്ല. റിലാക്സേഷൻ പ്രൊവൈഡഡ്, റൈറ്റ്? സോ ഇഫ് എ പേഴ്സൺ വയലേറ്റ്സ് ഹിസ് രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ ഈസ് ലയബിൾ ടു ബി ക്യാൻസൽഡ്. ഹിസ് രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ ഈസ് ലയബിൾ ടു ബി ക്യാൻസൽഡ്. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് ആരെങ്കിലും ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പ്ലീസ് ഇൻഫോം ദം. എന്ത് പറയുക? ബാങ്ക് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറയുക. ഇപ്പോ ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ പറഞ്ഞു TDS TCSന്റെ ഒരു കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞു അല്ലെ. ഞാൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് GSTയുടെ വെബ്സൈറ്റ് എടുത്ത് കാണിച്ചു തരാം in order to avoid the confusion. Register now. There is an option called register now taxpayer. Okay, see here, I am. കണ്ടോ ഇവിടെ ടാക്സ് പെയർ എന്നുള്ള ടാക്സ് പെയർ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്ത നോർമൽ ടാക്സ് പെയർ ആയിട്ടുണ്ട് കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. കണ്ടോ, there is an option for TD ടാക്സ് ഡിഡക്ടർ ആയിട്ട് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യാം, ടാക്സ് കളക്ടർ ആയിട്ട് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യാം. കണ്ടോ, ഡിഫറെന്റ് ഓപ്ഷൻസ് ആർ ദർ. ഓക്കെ, നോൺ റെസിഡന്റ് ടാക്സ് NRTP GST പ്രാക്ടീഷണർ. അപ്പോൾ ഈ രണ്ട് ഓപ്ഷൻസ് വെച്ചിട്ട് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നവർക്ക് ബാങ്ക് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടുള്ള റിലാക്സേഷൻ കിട്ടില്ല. ഓക്കെ, അതാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. See here, I hope it is clear. Relaxation is not available for those who have granted TDS TCS collector. ഇതാണ് ഒരു അപ്ഡേറ്റ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. അടുത്ത അപ്ഡേറ്റ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത് meaning of not making taxable supply during suspension of registration clarified. ഒരു രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ സസ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്തെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, ആ സമയത്തുള്ള ഒരു ട്രാൻസാക്ഷനെ കുറിച്ചാണ് പറയുന്നത്. രജിസ്റ്റേർഡ് പേഴ്സൺ റിക്വയർഡ് ടു ഇഷ്യൂ റിവൈസ് ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ആൻഡ് ഫയൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് റിട്ടേൺ ഫോർ സപ്ലൈസ് ഡ്യൂറിംഗ് സസ്പെൻഷൻ പീരീഡ്. See here, meaning of not making taxable supply. Rule 21A provides that once a registered person has applied for cancellation of registration ഞാൻ cancellation apply ചെയ്യുന്നു വിചാരിക്കുക. Okay. Or അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ apply ചെയ്യുന്നു വിചാരിക്കുക. Or the proper officer seeks to cancel registration. എന്തെങ്കിലും violations നടത്തിയോ proper officer എന്ത് ചെയ്യാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ registration cancel ചെയ്യണം എന്ന് തന്നെ ആവശ്യപ്പെടുകയാണ്. Okay. His registration shall remain suspended during the pendency of the proceedings relating to cancellation of registration file. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ ഇന്നായിരിക്കും ഫയൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ടുഡേ വിൽ ബി ഫയലിംഗ് ഫോർ cancellation or today or proper officer said your cancellation your registration will be cancelled എന്ന് പറയാം. Maybe in order to complete the proceedings it may take 10 days assume. Okay, so it will be suspended for 10 days. Registration will be suspended for 10 days. Such person shall not make any taxable supply during the period of suspension and shall not be required to file any return. Okay, അപ്പോ ആ സസ്പെൻഷൻ പീരീഡില് ഒരാള് ടാക്സബിൾ സപ്ലൈ എന്ത് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല, ചെയ്യാനും പാടില്ല, റിട്ടേണും എന്ത് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല, സബ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. ഓക്കെ, ഇങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം എന്ത് സംഭവിച്ചു എന്നുള്ളത്. ആൻഡ് എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ ഹാസ് ബീൻ ഇൻസേർട്ടഡ് ടു ദിസ് സബ് റൂൾ 3 to rule 21. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ 21A3 ആയിരുന്നു ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത്, ശരിയല്ലേ? അതിനെന്ത് ചെയ്തു, ഒരു എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ ഇൻസേർട്ട് ചെയ്തു. ക്ലാരിഫൈങ് ദാറ്റ് ദി എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ ഷാൽ നോട്ട് മേക്ക് എനി ടാക്സബിൾ സപ്ലൈ ഷാൽ മീൻ that registered person shall not issue a tax invoice and accordingly not charge tax on supplies made him during the tax period. അപ്പോ ഇതിനെ എന്താണ് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്തത്, ഇത് കൊണ്ട് എന്താ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്? ഷാൽ നോട്ട് മേക്ക് എനി ടാക്സബിൾ സപ്ലൈ കൊണ്ട് എന്താ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്? ഷാൽ മീൻ ദാറ്റ് registered person shall not issue tax invoice and not charge tax on supplies. അതാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്, അതാണ് എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ വന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അയാൾക്ക് ചിലപ്പോ 10 ദിവസം കൊണ്ട് വിൽക്കുന്ന സാധനങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാവും. ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ഹി ക്യാൻ സെൽ. എന്താണ് രണ്ട് ക്രൈറ്റീരിയ ഉള്ളത് ആ സമയത്ത് വിറ്റ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ? എന്താ രണ്ട് ക്രൈറ്റീരിയ ഉള്ളത്? ഷാൽ നോട്ട് ഇഷ്യൂ ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ്, ഇതാണ് ഒരെണ്ണം ഉള്ളത്. പിന്നെ എന്താ ഉള്ളത്? ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ഇഷ്യൂ ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല. ഷാൽ നോട്ട് ചാർജ് ടാക്സ് ഓൺ സപ്ലൈസ് ബിക്കോസ് file is pending in front of officer for cancellation. മനസ്സിലായില്ലേ? അപ്പോ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇതൊരു എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ ആയിട്ട് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഷാൽ നോട്ട് മേക്ക് എനി ടാക്സബിൾ സപ്ലൈ മീൻസ് ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ഇഷ്യൂ ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല, ടാക്സും കളക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല. ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ഹി ക്യാൻ സപ്ലൈ എന്നുകൊണ്ടാണ് ആ എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ വെച്ചിട്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ഇത് കൂടാണ്ട് ബിയോണ്ട് ദിസ് ഫർദർ എ ന്യൂ സബ് റൂൾ 5 ഹാസ് ബീൻ ഇൻസേർട്ടഡ്. ലെറ്റ്സ് സീ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദാറ്റ് സബ് റൂൾ. ഓക്കെ, in said rule to provide that were any order having the effect of revocation of suspension, അതായത് സസ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്തത് റിവോക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. റിവോക്ക് ചെയ്യുക മീൻസ് ഇല്ലാണ്ടാക്കുക. effect of revocation of suspension has been passed, the provisions of section 31(3)(a) revised tax invoice and section 40 first return in respect of the supplies made during the period of suspension and procedure specified therein shall apply. അതായത് എന്താണെന്ന് മനസ്സിലായോ? Everyone please listen. You have a registration right now, okay, and you applied for cancellation today, and maybe by officer ആയിരിക്കാം cancellation വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ടത്. And for next 10 days, today is June 2nd, അപ്പൊ next 10 days it is pending in front of the officer for cancellation. പക്ഷേ we have got goods in our hands. നമുക്കത് സെൽ ചെയ്യാണ്ടിരിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ? Definitely we have to sell if the customer asks for such goods. So it is in the suspension period for next 10 days. So if it is suspension period, what they are saying, if it is suspension period, you should not issue tax invoice, you should not collect tax. Okay, but in the next sub rule, new sub rule 5, what they are saying, if such suspension after 10 days, officer is the opinion that registration is not required to be cancelled, then such suspension will be revoked. Then for the ഈ 10 ദിവസം സംഭവിക്കുന്ന സെയിൽസ് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, അതിന് ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ഇഷ്യൂ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ടാക്സ് കളക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. ഹി വിൽ ബി ലയബിൾ ടു ഇഷ്യൂ റിവൈസ്ഡ് ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ്, tax invoice, and also he should what first return ആയിട്ട് ഇതെല്ലാ സപ്ലൈസും അതിനകത്തേക്ക് ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്യണം. In my regular classes I have explained what first return, what all supplies should be included in the first return, അല്ലേ? From the effective date of registration to the first filing date, I mean ആ ടാക്സ് പീരീഡിലേക്കുള്ളതാണ് സപ്ലൈസിലേക്ക് ഫസ്റ്റ് റിട്ടേണിലേക്ക് ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതെന്നെല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട് അല്ലെ, സെക്ഷൻ 50, സെക്ഷൻ 40. ഓക്കെ, സോ എന്താണ് രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ ചാപ്റ്റർ ആസ് എ സമ്മറി? യു അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ്. നേരത്തെ അറ്റ് ദ ടൈം ഓഫ് രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ ബാങ്ക് അക്കൗണ്ട് വാസ് മാൻഡേറ്ററി. നൗ ദേ ഹാവ് മേഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഓപ്ഷണൽ. But it should be what updated within 45 days ആയിട്ട് update ചെയ്യണം, whichever is earlier. For TDS and TCS it is not mandatory. If not updated within 45 days, registration will be cancelled. Then comes what? Second കാര്യം വരുന്നത് second കാര്യം വരുന്നത്, രണ്ടാമത്തെ കാര്യം വരുന്നത് സസ്പെൻഷനെ കുറിച്ചാണ്. ഓക്കെ, ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ടുഡേ രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യാണ്? ക്യാൻസൽ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് വരുവാണ്. The rule 21A provides a person has applied for cancellation. Then assume 10 days എടുക്കുവാണ് assessment complete ചെയ്യാനുള്ള procedures എല്ലാം complete ചെയ്യാൻ. So that 10 days will be considered as the registration will be suspended for 10 days. 10 ദിവസം എടുക്കുവാണ് complete ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട്. 10 days will be considered as what? Registration will be suspended. So in that period നേരത്തെ ഉണ്ടായ wordings ഇങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു, shall not make any taxable supply. In order to bring in more clarity, explanation has been inserted saying that shall not make any taxable supply means shall not issue tax invoice and shall not collect tax. He can make another taxable supply without charging tax എന്നുള്ള കണക്കാണ് മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ടത്. അങ്ങനെയാണ് എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ ഇൻസേർട്ട് ചെയ്തത്. പിന്നെ ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടി പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്, after the 10 days, okay, after the verification of the document, officer is of the opinion that registration should be continued. That is, the application for cancellation of registration has to be revoked. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ the supplies that which the assessee has made during the 10 days, that is during the time period when the registration was suspended, okay, for those 10 days the supplies revised tax invoice has to be issued and a first return has to be submitted. So ee rendu കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്, only these two facts have been included in the statutory updates of registration chapter. One is bank account and another is the supplies made during the time period for which the registration has been cancelled. Okay, once it is the cancellation application is revoked, then the supplies made during the suspended period, revised tax invoice should be issued and first return has to be submitted. Okay, we'll go to next chapter, that is tax invoice. This is regarding the tickets, admission to film theaters and all. So you see here special provision pertaining tax invoice for services by way of admission to exhibition of cinematograph films in multiplex screens. Okay, we will read what is the statutory update. A registered person has an option to issue consolidated tax invoice for supplies at the close of each day where the value of goods or supplies is less than 200 days. Okay, not 200 days, I'm sorry, it is 200 rupees. Okay, that is, if the supply is less than 200 rupees, a registered person has an option to issue consolidated tax invoice. For example, I am supplying this remote for rupees 100. Okay, and the recipients are unregistered person, I am supplying I sold 100 remotes today. Okay, so 100 rupees, 100 remotes to different 100 persons. Okay, so 100 into 100 comes to 10,000. I need not issue 100 invoices. Instead of that, I can issue a consolidated invoice of all such 100 invoice, okay, or 100 supplies that which I have made. This option is available only if the value of supply is less than 200 rupees, that is up to 199. Okay, I hope everyone have done the problem in your study material. Okay, in the tax invoice chapter, in page number 8.17, okay, 8.17, there is a problem based on this 200 rupees. Okay, 200 rupees. Please do this illustration. Okay, please do this illustration. So in this illustration, if there is a chance that they can include this amendment and ask this question in your examination. Okay, so it is inevitable to understand, it is very important, pertinent to understand this statutory update. Okay, എന്താണ് 200 രൂപയിൽ വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന വ്യത്യാസം എന്ന് നമുക്ക് ഒന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പൊ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ടെന്ന് മനസ്സിലായല്ലോ. പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ എന്താ, റെസിപ്പിയൻ അൺരജിസ്റ്റേർഡ് ആയിരിക്കണം എന്നുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടിയുണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഞാൻ 100 റിമോട്ട് അല്ലേ വിൽക്കുന്നത്, ആൻഡ് ദ പേഴ്സൺസ് ഹു 100 people are coming to my shop and buying this remote today, all those recipients should be unregistered. എന്നാൽ മാത്രമേ 100 സപ്ലൈസിനും കൂടി ഒരുമിച്ച് എനിക്ക് കൺസോളിഡേറ്റ് ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ഇഷ്യൂ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ സച്ച് റെസിപ്പിയന്റ് ഷുഡ് നോട്ട് ആസ്ക് മീ വാട്ട് ഇൻവോയ്സ്. ഇഫ് ദേ ആസ്ക് മീ, ഐ ഷുഡ് വാട്ട് issue tax invoice to them. Okay. എന്താണ് അമെൻമെന്റ് നോക്കാം. രജിസ്റ്റേർഡ് പേഴ്സൺ ടു രജിസ്റ്റേർഡ് പേഴ്സൺ, ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ഹാസ് ടു ബി ഇഷ്യൂഡ് ഇറസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് ഓഫ് ദ വാല്യൂ. B2B ആണെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, അപ്പോ ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് എന്തായാലും ഇഷ്യൂ ചെയ്ത് ഇരിക്കണം. അത് ഇറസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് ഓഫ് വാല്യൂ ആണ്. ഓക്കെ, irrespective of value, even if 10 rupees invoice has to be issued. Registered person to unregistered person, that is B2C, the example that which I said now. Okay, I am registered, the customers are unregistered. Consolidated invoice can be raised for all invoice value up to 199. This option. This option was available for tickets issued films at multiplex theater option ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. Okay, please do this problem from study material invoice chapter. I already show the problem. Okay, the page number also I showed it to you, so please do that problem. Okay, so actually this option was available for films at multiplex screens available ആയിരുന്നു. Okay, പക്ഷേ with effect from 1/9/2019 onwards, fourth proviso to rule 46 has been amended ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. Let's see what's the amendment. To disallow this option to a supplier engaged in making supply of service by way of admission to exhibition of cinematographed films in multiplex screens. Very important. Okay, amend ചെയ്തു. എന്തിനാണ് amend ചെയ്തത്? To disallow this option. To disallow what option? To issue consolidate invoice. Okay, നേരത്തെ this option was available ആയിരുന്നില്ലേ? Which option? B2C ആണെങ്കിൽ up to 199 multiplex screens issue ആയിരുന്നു. This option, to disallow this option, so they have disallowed this option. So now we will see what it is. Further, with effect from 1/9/2019, now let's see what is that disallowance അല്ലെങ്കിൽ option എന്താന്ന് നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. Okay, a new sub rule has been inserted 4A in rule 54. Accordingly, a registered person who is supplying service by way of admission to exhibition of cinematographed films in multiplex screen shall be required to issue an electronic ticket. Okay, the said electronic ticket is deemed to be a tax invoice. Our electronic ticket is deemed to be a tax invoice, the ticket that which we receive. Even if such ticket does not contain the details of the recipient, നമ്മുടെ പേരുണ്ടാവോ അതില്? ഇല്ലല്ലോ, സീറ്റ് നമ്പർ ഉണ്ടാവുള്ളൂ. Even if such does not contain the details of recipient but contains other information as mentioned in rule 46. Moreover, the supplier of such services in a screen other than multiplex also has been given an option to follow above procedure. So what do you understand? അങ്ങനെ കൊടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിനെ ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ആയിട്ട് ഡീംഡ് ടു ബി ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ആയിട്ട് എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യും. ദിസ് ഈസ് എ അമെൻമെന്റ്. അതിനകത്ത് ഇൻവോയ്സസിൽ പറയുന്ന കണ്ടന്റ്സ് നമ്മൾക്ക് അറിയാം എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്ന്. റെസിപ്പിയന്റെ പേരുണ്ടാവണം, സപ്ലയറിന്റെ പേരുണ്ടാവണം, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ റെസിപ്പിയന്റെ പേരില്ലെങ്കിലും even if such a ticket does not contain details of recipient, എന്താണ്, ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ കണക്കാക്കും. ഓക്കെ, സോ ദിസ് ഈസ് ദ അമെൻമെന്റ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. ടാക്സ് ഇൻവോയ്സിൽ ഈ ഒരു അമെൻമെന്റ് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഓക്കെ, സോ നൗ വിൽ സീ അക്കൗണ്ട്സ് ആൻഡ് റെക്കോർഡ്സ് ഇ-വേ ബിൽ വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന അമെൻമെന്റ് നോക്കാം. ഇ-വേ ബില്ലിൽ വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന അമെൻമെന്റ് നോക്കാം. ചെറിയൊരു അമെൻമെന്റ് ആണ് അവിടെ വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ ഒരു അമെൻമെന്റ് അതിനകത്ത് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത് വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആണ്. അത് ഒബ്ജക്റ്റീവിലോ എവിടെയോ ചോദിക്കാനായിട്ട് വളരെയധികം സാധ്യതയുള്ളൊരു ചേഞ്ച് ആണ് അവിടെ വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. ആദ്യം നമ്മൾക്ക് ആ ചേഞ്ച് നോക്കാം. ഓക്കെ, യു സീ ദിസ്. The sub rule 10 has been further amended to lay down that the validity of e-way bill can be extended within 8 hours from the time of its expiry. You see, ഇപ്പോ ഈ സമയത്ത് നിങ്ങളിപ്പോ ഈ സെഷൻ അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് എക്സ്പയർ ആവാൻ പോവാന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം? അപ്പോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡഡ് വിത്തിൻ 8 hours ഫ്രം ദ ടൈം ഓഫ് എക്സ്പയറി. ഓക്കെ, സോ മേ ബി ഒരു 10 hours കൂടി ഉണ്ട് എക്സ്പയർ ആവാനായിട്ട്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം? അത് എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ് ഇ വേ ബില്ല്. അപ്പൊ നേരത്തെ അങ്ങനെ പറ്റില്ലായിരുന്നു. വൺസ് ഇ വേ ബില്ല് എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 24 അവേഴ്സിനകം ക്യാൻസൽ ചെയ്യണമായിരുന്നു. നോ അതർ ഓപ്ഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോ ഇപ്പോ എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം, നമ്മൾക്ക് ഈവൺ ഇഫ് പല പല കാരണങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടായിരിക്കാം, ചിലപ്പോൾ ഗുഡ്സ് പോയിട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ലായിരിക്കാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ബ്രേക്ക് ഡൗൺ ആണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് വേറൊരു കൺവെൻഷനിലേക്ക് മാറ്റാം, അല്ല അങ്ങനെ പല പല ഓപ്ഷൻസ് ഉണ്ട്, പല പല സിറ്റുവേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. സോ ഇ വേ ബിൽ ഇപ്പോ എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം, can be extended within 8 hours from the time of expiry. അപ്പോൾ 8 മണിക്കൂറുകൾക്ക് മുൻപ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം, നമ്മൾക്ക് ഇ വേ ബില്ലിന്റെ ടൈം ലിമിറ്റ് എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാവുന്നത് ആണ്. ഓക്കെ, ഇതാണ് ഇ വേ ബില്ലിന്റെ പോർഷനിൽ വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു മാറ്റം. വേറെ ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു മാറ്റവും കൂടി വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്, അത് ഞാൻ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാം. ഇനി ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടി പറയാനുള്ള അക്കൗണ്ട്സ് ആൻഡ് റെക്കോർഡ്സിൽ ഇ വേ ബില്ലിന്റെ ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. When an assessee should generate e-way bill, when the consignment value is greater than 50,000. Example, first invoice is 30,000 and second invoice is 30,000. Two invoices and each invoice is rupees 30,000. And both the goods are that which are invoiced under two different invoices are sent in one consignment and sent in one consignment. Invoice value is 30,000 and 30,000. Okay. So the consignment value is greater than 50,000 has to be checked. Consignment value. So 30,000 plus 30,000. In that consignment, the value exceeds rupees 50,000. So e-way bill has to be generated. It's not the invoice value greater than 50,000. It is a consignment value greater than 50,000 has to be considered. That is e-way bill. Okay. So let's check what is amended here. Up to 100 kilometers, it is the validity of e-way bill is up to 100 kilometers. It is 1 day. Other than over-dimensional or multi-modal shipment in which at least one leg involves transport by ship. Okay, so you just remember up to 100 kilometers when it is what is the validity? 1 day. Okay, so for every 100 kilometers or part thereof, what is the validity? One additional day will be given as a validity. That is not the amendment. Okay, amendment is this multimodal was not there earlier. Okay, this multimodal was not there, shipment was not there earlier. Okay, so now they have included only over dimensional cargo was there in the e-way bill category. So I'll delete all this. Okay, so for a better understanding, so this was not there. Okay, now what they have done, they have included this multimodal. That is a additional or the amendment that which has happened. Now let's check what is this multimodal shipment. That is, this is other than. Okay, here it is other than, here also it is other than. So when it comes to over dimensional cargo or multimodal shipment in which at least one leg involves transport by ship, what does that mean? Okay, in that case up to 20 kilometer, what is the validity of e-way bill? 1 day. Sorry, up to 20 kilometer, what is the validity of e-way bill? It is 1 day. And for every 20 kilometers, in addition to that first 20 kilometer, for every additional one additional day will be given. Okay, so here only amendment is what they have added, this multi-modal shipment in which at least one leg involves first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg. In that one leg involves transport by ship. Now let's see what is that one leg. I have included one image here. See, in a sale transaction, there can be what goods can be transported by a rail first, then by a what to say through a GTA, by road, then a flight, then again by road. Okay, so there are different what parts of parts in a transaction or a sale. So let's assume first by what train, rail, then by what road, then by what airways, ship. So assume in that single transaction, assume there is a transaction through ship also. So one leg in that specific transaction, to finish off that transaction, one connection to complete that transaction is by way of ship. അപ്പോൾ അതിനകത്ത് ഒരു കണക്റ്റഡ് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻ ചിലപ്പോൾ ആദ്യം GTA ആയിരിക്കാം, പിന്നെ ഷിപ്പിലായിരിക്കാം, ആദ്യം GTA ആയിരിക്കാം, പിന്നെ ഷിപ്പിലായിരിക്കാം, ഷിപ്പിൽ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് ഇറക്കിയിട്ട് റെയിലിലായിരിക്കാം, പിന്നെ ഫ്ലൈറ്റിലായിരിക്കാം. അപ്പൊ അതിനകത്ത് in that particular one transaction transportation is by ship, one leg transaction. That's അതാണ് ഇത് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. മൾട്ടി മോഡൽ, that is not single model, multi model, more than one model shipment in which at least one leg is involved by ship. That's what it means. Okay, so അത് ആഡ് ചെയ്തു എന്ന് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. നേരത്തെ ഓവർ ഡയമെൻഷൻ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, അതിനകത്തേക്ക് ഈ ഒരു പോയിന്റും കൂടി ആഡ് ചെയ്തു. Now, as an additional point, I would like to share one example with you. What does this one day means? One day എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ എന്താണ്? One day. There is an example in your study material. I would like to explain that to have a better understanding, or to check yourself whether you have covered all those portions. Okay. So I'll take one example to understand the concept of one day. Suppose e-way bill is generated at 4 hours. It's not for 4 minutes, right? So on 14th March, okay, that is early morning, that is 12:04 a.m., right? That is a.m. Then the first day, it should be 14th March, right? Then one day means what? 04 hours 15th March. 04 hours 15th March ആയിരിക്കണം വൺ ഡേ നമ്മളുടെ ഒരു ബേസിക് അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡിംഗില്. പക്ഷെ അങ്ങനെയല്ല വൺ ഡേ കൗണ്ട് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. Then the first day would end on 12th midnight 15th to 16th March. Second day will end on 12th midnight of 16th March and so on. അപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ 15th കണ്ടോ, 15th മാർച്ചിന്റെ 4 minutes അല്ല, ആ 15th മാർച്ചിന്റെ രാത്രിയിലെ 12 AM ആണ് എടുക്കേണ്ടത്. ഓക്കെ, 15th മാർച്ചിന്റെ രാത്രി, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് 15 to 16th midnight എടുക്കേണ്ടത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ദിസ് ഈസ് ഹൗ ഇറ്റ് ഷുഡ് ബി counted as one day, and the normal days will come. Okay, അപ്പൊ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡേ എടുക്കുന്നതിൽ മാത്രം വ്യത്യാസം ഉണ്ടാവും. Suppose e-way bill is generated at 11:58 hours, that is 23:58 hours, that is 11:58 p.m. Okay, 11:58 p.m. on 14th March, that is 14th March late night. Actually നമ്മളുടെ assumption എന്തായിരിക്കും? 11:58 p.m. on 15th March ആയിരിക്കും വൺ ഡേ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, ശരിയല്ലേ? Then first day would end on what? 11:58 p.m. 15th March nalla, adu till midnight it will get extended just 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes more, 15-16 March. So this is so early morning also. So you see this 12 midnight 15-16 March, 12 midnight 15-16 March. So on the first day there will be an extension when you count one full day. Okay, കുറച്ചുകൂടി അധികം ടൈം കിട്ടും when you count one full day. Okay, so അത് ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡേയിൽ മാത്രം, it will happen only when we count the first day. Okay, ബാക്കി എല്ലാത്തിനും it's normal days counted. Okay, so please keep that in mind. You can expect that one in the objective kind of question. So that's an add-on that which I have given to you. This is page number 8.44 in your study material. So that's all about the amendments in accounts and records. One is the multi-model shipment. One leg is by way of ship. Now you understood what is one leg to complete a transaction. In that one way of transaction connected, connection and one leg is by way of ship. Okay. Another amendment is once e-way bill was taken, extend ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ലായിരുന്നു. It was not possible to extend e-way bill. Now it can be extended 8 hours. Before 8 hours, before the expiry. Okay, so it can be extended within 8 hours from the time of its expiry. Very important, very important. Now let's see returns. Okay, two amendments are there in a returns chapter. I hope you all know what is GSTR 1. I hope you all know what is GSTR 2. I hope you all know what is GSTR 3. I am not entering into GSTR 1A and GSTR 2A and all. Okay, but 2A definitely come into a discussion right now. So as you all know, those who have attended the class, okay, GST 1 is there right now, 1A is not there, 2 is there, 2 is not there right now, 2A is there, GST 3 is not there. Okay, as per section 37, the return mentioned in section 37 is GST 1, that is sales. As per section 38, the return mentioned is GST 2, that is purchase. As per section 39, the return mentioned in section 39 is GST 3. That is consolidated data of this GST 1 sales and GST 2 purchase will be disclosed in GST 3. It will be disclosed in where? GST 3. It will be disclosed in GST 3. So, right now, GST 1 is active in the website. GST 2 it's not active, and GST 3 also it's not active. So only GST 1 is active in the portal. I will show it to you right now, and along with that GST 2A is there. That is whatever sales we do, that will reflect in the GST 2A as inverse supply of the recipient. Okay, those who have attended the class will understand this provision. So GST 3 is the actual return that which was mentioned in section 39, but due to the technical glitches, GST 2 and GST 3 is not yet what released in the portal. And for the ease of tax payment, the government should receive the monthly taxes, right? To make that one more convenient, they introduced a new form called GST 3B. GST 3B. Now I will right now I will show you the availability of the returns. Now I will show you the availability of the returns on the portal. Okay, after that we will discuss this one. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ കാണിച്ചു തരാം GST റിട്ടേൺ വെബ്സൈറ്റിൽ പോർട്ടലിൽ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് ഫോംസ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നതെന്ന്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഇവിടെ ഞാനൊരു ആസസിയുടെ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ ലെറ്റ് സി ഫയൽ റിട്ടേൺസ്. ഐ വിൽ ടേക്ക് ദിസ് ഫയൽ റിട്ടേൺ, or in the services you can take the return dashboard. Okay, so I'll just directly take this file return option. To 1920 March, I'll search for this one. Okay, so the returns available right now as on today is displayed in the portal. We will see there is GST 1 is there, outward supply. Can you see GST 2? Inverse supply, no, it's not yet released. GST 3, can you see GST 3? No, 3B is there, right? GST 3, that is a outward supply, combination of outward supply plus inward supply is GST 3. That's also not released. You can see GST 2A. 2A is simply a platform or a form where you can see the inward supplies. Okay, so what all details you upload in GSTR 1 will get reflected in the portal of GSTR in the portal of the recipient in form GSTR 2A. This is only to view. Okay, no addition is possible. And we will see the relevance of GSTR 2A when we check the statutory updates of input tax credit. Okay, you will understand the relevance of GSTR 2A. Okay, and one more form is there, that is GSTR 3B. Okay, actually this was not notified earlier as a return. Okay, since the GSTR 3 was a return as per section 39, since due to technical glitches it was not released. Okay, so to simplify the tax payment system and tax collection more convenient, they introduced this GSTR 3B. Okay, so only these forms are available in the GST portal. Okay, so the said rule has been amended retrospectively. What is prospective and retrospective? Prospective means today if a notification is released, prospective, it will have a prospective effect. In the coming days it will be effective. What is retrospective? From the date it is notified, okay, from a previous date it will be effective. So that is retrospective. Retrospective with effect from when? From 1st July 2017. What is the importance of 1st July 2017? That is the date when GST was introduced. Okay, advent of GST. So from the beginning itself, they have notified 3B as a return. Okay, so when this was notified as a return, notification 49/2019 on 9th October 2019. So 1st July 2017, July 2018, July 2019. I should say that maybe after 2 years or nearly 2.5 years. Okay, so they introduced this or notified 3B as a return with retrospective effect with effect from a previous date, that is from 1st July 2017. This is one of the important statutory update. Please study this. Please remember this update. Okay, one more update that which I am going to share with you is regarding the annual return. Okay, filing of annual return under section 44 of the CGST Act 1718 and 1819 made optional for small taxpayers. Okay, actually this was what mandatory. This was mandatory. Now they have made this as what? Optional. They have made optional, not for all class of assessees, optional for small taxpayers whose aggregate turnover is less than 2 crore. Okay, so this was mandatory for all assessees irrespective of their turnover. Okay, so this has been made optional for small taxpayers whose aggregate turnover is less than 2 crore. So for above 2 crore, what they have made it mandatory. And who has not filed the said return before the due date of okay. So I'll read this. Filing of annual return under section 44 subsection 1 CGST Act read with rule 80 sub rule 1 of CGST rules. The financial year 1718 and 1819 has been made voluntary for registered persons whose turnover is less than 2 crore. Okay, so it should be less than 2 crore. If it is 2 crore, then it becomes mandatory. And who has not furnished the said return before the due date. Okay, so for example, if an assessee in the return of an assessee, mistakes, there are so many mistakes in the return of an assessee. Okay, so his turnover is say 1.5 crore, that is less than 2 crore. So it's optional for him. There are mistakes in the return. If you do not file the return, that's optional, right? Because it is less than 2 crore. So it's optional. But still there are mistakes in his return. Okay, and he's not filing his return. It will be considered as the values that which are there in the return will be considered for assessment purpose. So if there are any mistakes in the return, even though his turnover is less than 2 crore, he should correct his returns by filing annual return, even though it is optional. Why? The reason is that because the assessee, the officer at the time of assessment, if it is not corrected right now by the assessee, even if turnover is less than 2 crore, it will be taken up by the officer for assessment purpose. Okay, it will be taken up for the assessment purpose. എങ്ങനെയാണോ റിട്ടേണിൽ ഉള്ളത് അങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും അസസ്മെന്റ് നടത്തുന്നത്. The officer will do the assessment as if what he has filed the annual return. Okay, relying upon the data in the return. So if there is any mistake, you should correct the annual return by filing, even though it is optional. Okay, so this has been done through notification 47/2017. The annual return shall be deemed to be furnished. You see this? Deemed to be furnished on the due date if has not been furnished before the due date. If it is not furnished, it shall be deemed to be furnished. This is applicable for both optional and mandatory assessees. Okay, so it should be filed within the due date, and also it is optional to file within the due date for assessees having turnover of less than 2 crore, and it is mandatory to file for assessees having turnover of 2 crore or greater than that. Okay, so I hope, so these are the two changes or statutory updates in the chapter of returns. One is 3B has been made a return, notification 49/2019 with retrospective effect from 1st July 2017, and another statutory update is annual return has been made optional for assessees having turnover that is registered persons having turnover less than 2 crore. Okay, so if the return is not filed within the due date, it is deemed to be, the return has been deemed to be filed. It will be considered in such a way that the return has been filed. I hope it's clear. So we have 3 more topics to get covered. One is charge, next is exemption, and another is ITC. Okay, now let's see the ITC statutory updates in the ITC chapter, input tax credit. So now we'll see input tax credit. This is a major change. A major change happened in the GST regime. So 49/2019 is a notification. Even we saw the returns of statutory updates. In the return statutory updates, we saw 3B. With retrospective effect, they have made 3B as a return. So now we are going to see the same notification. They have made the changes. The 49/2019 is a notification number. Let's see what is input tax credit, the basic criteria of the input tax credit. I hope everyone know the basic criteria of the input tax credit. 17 subsection 5. Actually, it's very important, the block credits. I hope everyone remember the code words and all. I had a girlfriend, right? I had a girlfriend, gift, free samples, everything. So 17.1, 2, 17.3, 17.4, 17.5, all those sections are very important. So before seeing this statutory updates, let's see the example, a simple example to illustrate the input tax credit. Okay, assume purchase value is 10,000. Okay, GST rate is 18%. So what is the GST amount? It comes to 10,000 into 18. So this is the GST amount. Okay, so I'll write here, this is the input tax credit. Okay, I hope you all know 16 subsection 1, right? GSTR, goods should have been received. S, supplier invoice received. T is tax should have been paid. R is return should have been filed. 16 subsection 2, GSTR is a code word to remember. Next, assume sale value. Okay, assume it is 20,000, tax rate is same, say 18%, and we'll say the output tax comes to how much? So this is the output tax. Okay, so what is the net tax payable? Net tax payable is output tax minus the input tax. So 1,800 is the net tax payable. Okay, so I'll just copy paste this one. Okay, this situation is before the notification 49/2019. Okay, this situation is after notification number 2019. Okay, 49/2019. After, now let's see. Okay, so assume the purchase value is 10,000, not reflected in 2A, that is GSTR 2A. It's not reflected. That means the person from whom you purchased, that is his supply, he did not include this sale value in his GSTR 1. Since he did not include in GSTR 1, it did not reflect in your GSTR 2A. What is GSTR 2A? It will display all the inward supplies during a tax period. That is GSTR 2A. Okay. So this did not reflect in 2A. So, but you just see the goods are received. S, supplier invoice is with you. That is a purchase invoice. T, tax has been paid. Okay. Because a mere filing of GSTR 1 doesn't mean that the supplier has paid the tax, right? Maybe he might have missed out in disclosing the GSTR, the supply in GSTR 1, but he might have paid in GSTR 3B. But he might have disclosed correctly in GSTR 1, but he may not have paid the tax in GSTR 3B. So, disclosing in GSTR 1 and reflecting in 2A, we cannot confirm that the condition, third condition in our code word, that is GSTR, G, goods should have been received. Yes, I received, I purchased, I received the goods. Supplier invoice received. Yes, I purchased the goods. I have the purchase invoice with me. T is tax should have been paid. We cannot confirm whether the supplier has paid the tax or not. But this is a condition as per 49/2019 that you can claim input tax credit only if it is reflected in GSTR 2A. So in this case, in the after notification, I assume it's not reflected in GSTR 2A. The input tax credit is restricted. Input tax credit is restricted. This is the restricted credit concept introduced through 49/2019. Now let's see with an example what is this restricted credit. Okay, earlier it was not mandatory before this notification that it should have been reflected in 2A. നമ്മൾക്ക് ഇൻവോയ്സ് ഉണ്ട്, ഗുഡ്സ് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, നമ്മളുടെ അടുത്ത് ബിൽ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ if we have got the bill we can claim input tax credit. That was a concept. Okay, but now with this notification there is a restricted entry. Now let's see what is that restricted entry. With this image I would like to explain that. With effect from 10th October 2019, output of input tax credit not reflected in GSTR 2A, only 20% of the eligible credit that is reflected in 2A shall be allowed as input tax credit. Example, okay, ITC as per invoices in hand. Okay, ITC as per invoice or in books, I'll write here in Tally or SAP or whatever let it be. So you have got a invoice worth ITC of 1500. So ITC of invoice in GSTR 2A, that is a supplier uploaded only those invoices of tax worth rupees 1000. Assume there are 15 invoices. Okay, supplier uploaded ITC as per GSTR 2A. How much? 1000. So supplier uploaded only 10 invoices. Assume one invoice, the tax of one invoice is 100 rupees. So supplier uploaded only 10 invoices. 5 invoices were not uploaded. Actually we are eligible for 1500 input tax credit, but supplier uploaded only 10 invoices worth 1000 ITC. Okay, so what is the eligible ITC? Whether can we claim ITC as per books or we are eligible for ITC as per 2A is the question. So you can see here how much is the ITC that which is not reflected in 2A? That is 500. Okay, ITC not reflected in 2A is how much? 500. That is 1500 minus 1000, that is 500. Or 20% of ITC reflected in 2A, eligible ITC. Okay, eligible ITC. What is 20% of 2A? That is into 20 divided by 100 comes to 200. So you can see here lower of. Okay, lower of. So how much is the total ITC that which can be claimed? So actually as per books it is 1500, but as per this notification number 49/2019, this is the total ITC that which is available. That is 2A you can completely claim, and for the difference amount lower of ITC not reflected in 2A or 20% whichever is lower, that is 1000 definitely you can claim. Why? It is reflected in 2A, and lower of the difference or 20% of ITC reflected into. So total ITC that which can be claimed will be 1200. So you can see here total eligible as per the new rules is 1200. 200. So you see, if the tax liability is, assume 5,000 rupees, assume tax liability is 5,000, tax liability is 5,000, sorry, there's a spelling mistake. In the earlier scenario, you could have claimed 1,500. The tax that which you should is liable, that which you are liable to pay is 3,500. But in the new tax regime, assume the tax liability is 5,000. The eligible ITC that which is you can claim is 1,200. So how much cash flow will happen from your hands? That is 3,800. 300 rupees you will have to pay excess. The question is, when you can claim the balance 300 rupees is the question. It can be claimed only when the supplier uploads the remaining 5 invoices. Okay, remaining 5 invoices. So this is the situation. Okay, this is the situation. Okay. After notification number 49/2019. Okay, I will give another example. Okay, actually 1,500 invoice are the, as per 2A, it is how much, say I think we'll see the cases in your example. Okay, so that will be better, I guess. Okay, so I'll start reading this. Restriction availment of input tax credit invoices debit not uploaded by the supplier. Not uploaded by the supplier. For those invoices that which are uploaded by the supplier, there is no doubt that the entire eligible credit you can claim as ITC. Okay. Section 16 subsection 2. The code word I will write here again. GSTR is a code word to remember. Section 2 subsection 2. Okay. You can compare with this code word with the theory that which you have written. G for good should have been received, supplier invoice should have been received, tax should have been paid, return should have been filed. Okay, easy to remember. Section 16 subsection 2. Okay, provides a condition for availing ITC wherein one of the condition is that the taxpayer must be in possession of the tax invoice or any tax paying document in respect of which he is claiming ITC. Rule 36 of CGST rules lays down the document and other conditions basis which the registered person can claim the ITC. With effect from 9/10/2019, a new sub-rule 4 has been introduced in Rule 36 to specify the quantum of ITC that can be claimed against the invoices, debit notes uploaded and invoices, debit notes not uploaded by the supplier. Okay, so this is the crux. Okay, as per sub rule 4 of Rule 36, ITC can be availed by the registered person in respect of invoices and debit notes. The details which have not been uploaded by the supplier in GSTR 1 cannot exceed 20% of the eligible credit available. Okay, so 20% of the, not the total credit available, it is the eligible credit available in respect of invoice or debit notes, the details of which have been uploaded by the supplier in GST 1. This can be better understood by those who know ITC and the GST returns chapter. Okay. So this is the image that which I had explained. Okay, so the entire accounting ITC, it's not available. The ITC reflected in 2A. So what's your duty? You should check whether all the ITC as per the books are reflected in GSTR 2A. If it's not reflected, then what's your responsibility as an accountant or the auditor? You should inform the management that, or the accountant, concerned person, that is not reflected. So the accountant will be informing the suppliers to upload all their inward supply invoice or their supplies in the GSTR 1. See how hectic it is, right? But practically, since it's notified, it's very essential and mandatory to follow this notification. See this in the example that which we missed out. Ineligible ITC of 300 is to be reversed. Same can be taken credit when such missing entries are reflected in 2A. When this will be reflected in 2A? When the supplier uploads in GSTR 1. If he doesn't uploads, that's another question, right? It becomes ineligible credit. Okay, so it's a responsibility of the purchaser. That is, he should pay the amount to the supplier. He should document everything, and he should also force the supplier to upload the invoice. What's a basic requirement of this is that, essential requirement of this is that, do the business with genuine suppliers. Do the business with genuine suppliers, and also to restrict like wrong credits, ineligible credits are taken by many assessees. These are the purpose of these notifications. Now let's see a few cases. Yes, now let's see a few examples of input tax credit. Okay, there are two cases which are provided. One illustration is there. Let's see. I have already explained with these images the concept of restricted credit of 20%. You can expect this question. Okay, ചിലപ്പോൾ അതൊരു 6 മാർക്സിനായിരിക്കാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു കമ്പ്യൂട്ടേഷന്റെ ഇതിലായിരിക്കാം ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. Definitely this is very, very important. Please do not leave this concept. I have explained it through examples. Okay, please do learn this concept. It's very easy. You can also use the example, help of this image. Okay, so I'll read the case over here, where invoice or debit note has been uploaded by the supplier, that the supplier have uploaded in the GSTR 1. So definitely that will reflect in GSTR 2A. 1 is the supplier details, 2A is our inward supply platform where it gets reflected. Okay, so in this case the supplier have uploaded in GSTR 1. Full ITC is claimable. Why? If 100 invoices are there, he has uploaded all the 100 invoices, so all the 100 invoices will reflect in GSTR 2A of the purchaser. Okay, so claimable. This situation is regarding where the invoices, if there are 100 invoices, only 80 invoices are disclosed in GSTR 1, so only 80 invoices will appear in GSTR 2A. So the remaining 20 invoices, what is the condition for that? That is the scenario over here. Okay, so let's see the second situation. Debit note, credit invoice and debit note has not been uploaded. You see this has not been uploaded. That is, in this case, 20% of the eligible ITC. Okay, that is eligible ITC means which ITC? ITC reflected in GSTR 2A, and that too the eligible ITC. There can be the ITC of a motor car, there can be ITC of food, there can be many other restricted ITC. So it is a eligible ITC, 20% eligible ITC. However, ITC so claim should not exceed the actual eligible ITC. I have already explained that with an example. Okay, so notification 49/2019. Let's see this illustration. Mr. Vijay, a registered supplier, receives how many invoices? 100 invoices involving GST of how much? The value is 10 lakhs. Okay, so 100 invoice 10 lakhs from various suppliers during the month of October. So 100 invoices are there, and the value of the GST component is 10 lakhs. Compute the ITC that can be claimed by Mr. Vijay in GSTR 3B for the month of October, to be filed by 20th November. In the following independent cases, assuming that GST of 10 lakhs is otherwise eligible for ITC. So now let's understand what are the independent cases. Okay, so here they have written the provision that is 20%. This rule also you please try to mention in your answer sheet. Okay, definitely you can expect this question. 36 sub rule 4. Okay, 36 sub rule 4. Please remember this. Rule number. Okay, rule number 36 sub rule 4. This is a provision that it cannot exceed 20% of the eligible credit. Okay, that is a provision that which they have written. Now I will take the case. Two cases are there. Case 1. How many invoices are there? Inward supply. Okay, so you should think from the point of view of a purchaser, and you are receiving the product. Someone have supplied it to you. Okay, out of the 100 invoices, how many invoices? 80 invoices involving GST of how many? What's the value of GST? 6 lakhs. Total GST value is how much? 10 lakhs. have been uploaded by the supplier in their respective GSTR1. Okay, so I'll take Excel sheet. I think answer is already written over there. Okay. So 10 lakhs is the total ITC, correct? Total ITC. Reflected in 2 ways, how much? 6 lakhs, correct? 6 lakhs. So actually he was eligible to claim entire 10 lakhs before this notification. Why? Because 16 subsection 2, already I said what is 16 subsection 2, how you can remember? GSTR, goods should have been received, he received the goods, supplier invoice should be there, he received the supplier invoice, that is inward supply, tax should have been paid, and a return should have been filed. Okay, so these are the situations. So in this case, this was situation, entire 10 lakhs he was eligible to claim. But now after this 49/2019, definitely he can claim this as 6 lakhs. Full he can claim. Why? Reflected in GSTR 2A. So full he can claim. What about the balance 4 lakhs? Not reflected in 2A. He can only claim 20% of eligible credit in 2A. What is the 20% of eligible credit in 2A? That comes to into 20%. Okay, how much? So total ITC that which he can claim for October month return is 7,20,000. Okay, so what is the difference amount? Minus 7,20,000. Okay, so 2,80,000 he is not eligible to claim in the month of October. Why he is not eligible? Why? Because those inward supplies are not reflected in the 2A. Okay, let's see the answer. This will be the answer. Okay, 7,20,000. You can see here 7,20,000. So in respect of 20 invoices, 80 invoices were uploaded, and out of that 6 lakhs. So this is a solution. Okay, so you should think how the tax invoices are reflected in GSTR 2A. For those invoices that which are reflected in 2A, entire input can be claimed. Okay, now let's check. I hope it's clear to everyone. Now let's check the second case. Okay. Notes, definitely do not miss to write the notes for GST as well as income tax, because notes, as I always say, notes are the way you communicate to the examiner, because anyone can write any answer. Okay, so with the notes you should substantiate your answer. Okay, never ever forget to write the notes. Okay, so case 2, out of 100 invoices, 75 invoices of GST of how much? 8,50,000 was uploaded. Balance 25 invoices the suppliers did not what? Upload. So I will take the Excel file. What is the total ITC available? Total ITC available is, this is case 2. Okay. Case 2. Before this notification, entire 10 lakhs was eligible to be claimed. So reflected in 2A is how much? Reflected in 2A, how much? It is 8,50,000, right? So for the value that which is 1,50,000 is not reflected in 2A. Okay, 25 invoices worth tax value of 1,50,000 not reflected in 2A. So for the in tax GST element which is not reflected in 2A, what is the condition to claim? 20% of eligible ITC in 2A. What is the 20% of eligible ITC in 2A? Into 20 divided by 100. You see this? The total comes to how much? It is 10,20,000, correct? So 20% definitely you can claim. So when you sum up this 20%, it exceeds what? This exceeds the actual ITC. So what is the ITC claimable? In this case, 10 lakh is ITC claimable, restricted to 10 lakhs. Why? 10 lakh is the total ITC. Is the total ITC. Definitely, definitely an SSC cannot claim an ITC above the available ITC. So these are the two scenarios. Definitely, my dear friends, students, please learn this concept. It's very easy. Okay, I hope it's clear. These are the two cases. You can see here the answer for that 10 lakh. Okay, so you can see the not here, not for that. Not saying the ITC in respect of invoice not restricted since so and so the actual amount ITC can be availed. Okay, so this is about all about ITC. 20% restriction, very, very important. Don't miss this. So the second last topic, that is charge of GST. So I will read out it quickly. Okay, so we'll just finish it off. I'll be taking this notification 2/2019 along with the revision test paper. Okay, because a few students had asked me doubt, like they need much more clarity on that 2/2019. It's regarding that 50 lakhs limit of composition scheme for the service provider, including the supplies of the goods, and the composition rate is 6% for that. Specify in the notification number. Okay, but right now we will confine ourselves to the amendment part. Okay, so right now the manufacturer of aerated water and supplier, that is trader of aerated water, if they are dealing in that, they cannot opt the composition scheme at the rate of 6%. Okay, they will be out of this composition scheme. Earlier, the manufacturer of tip was not included. If they were manufacturing tip, that is for it's easy to remember tip. Okay, manufacturer of ice cream, then manufacturer of pan masala, then manufacturer of tea, tobacco. Okay, these assessees or these business people were out of the ambit of the composition. Or if a service provider or any trader is engaged in supply of tip, TIP, that is tobacco, ice cream and pan masala, they will be out of the ambit of this composition scheme, that is 2/2019. This has been amended to include aerated waters also. So if a person who has opted this composition scheme 2/2019, that is up to a limit of 50 lakhs. Okay, I have written those code words also and all during the class hours. Hope you all remember that. Okay, the sniper code word. Okay, please remember that code word. Definitely in RTP session I will go through this 2/2019 notification. Okay, so along with this they have they have added aerated waters also. So those SSCs who are dealing in aerated waters will also be out of this ambit of 2/2019. So aerated waters, hope you all know, these are aerated waters. Okay, I hope this will bring more clarity to you. So if they are dealing in these aerated waters, they will be out of composition. Maybe till today, they may not be engaged in supply of aerated water. But from tomorrow, they decides to sell aerated waters, then definitely they will be out of the composition scheme of 6%. Okay, so this is an amendment happened. Thus now, a manufacturer of aerated water will also not be eligible, will also be eligible, Allah will also not be eligible. Okay, not be eligible to opt. Okay, likewise supplier of aerated water also not be eligible. I hope everyone understood. You can expect this one in objective question 1 mark. Okay, please make sure you remember this. And going ahead, in this reverse charge, a beautiful notification have come. So I'll read this notification. I hope you'll remember the code word to remember reverse charge. This reverse charge is good looking individual is sad what? RCM. We have to pay RCM. 9 subsection I already discussed in some other chapter over the discussing this updates. G is what? Goods transport agency. G is government service. L is legal. I is what? Insurance. S is what? Who S is there? That sponsorship, security. A arbitral tribunal. D director. R recovery agent. C copyright. That's what we are going to discuss it right now. And M as members of overseeing committee of RBI. So I will tell you a change has happened in this C copyright. Okay, in this C ഒരു ചേഞ്ച് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. Let's see. Actually, see, this one is RCM, but they have introduced an option to opt for forward charge only for the C. Okay, all others remain the same. Okay. So I'll read the notification. With effect from 1/10/2019, the reverse charge notifications for services, that is notification number 13/2017 dated 28/6/2017 so and so. This is the original notification number. 13/2017 is the original notification number. Okay, original notification number. CTR is central tax rate. Okay, ITR is integrated tax rate. Okay, so by notification number, this notification number, they have made the amendment. Payment of tax under reverse charge made optional for whom? For which category of assessees? In case of supply of service by an author by way of transfer permitting the use or enjoyment of a copyright relating to original literary work to a publisher. It's not mandatory. So reverse charge in case of C copyright continues. Okay, and they have made optional reverse charge. So once reverse charge is made optional, then what does it mean? Forward charge can also be opted in this case. Okay, so I'll read further. Earlier, tax on supplies appo reverse charge seal reverse charge ആയിരുന്നു ഇത്രയും കാലത്തോളം. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് ഓപ്ഷണൽ ആക്കി. അന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ എന്തായിരിക്കും? ഫോർവേഡ് ചാർജും അടയ്ക്കാം ടാക്സ് ആയിട്ട് എന്നാണ് അതുകൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ earlier tax on supply of service by an author, music composer, photographer, artist by way of transfer permitting of use of enjoyment of a copyright relating to original literary, dramatic, musical or artistic work was payable under reverse charge by a publisher, music company, producer. This entry has been substituted as under. Okay, I read it fast. Why? Because we'll just see the change what has happened. Category of supply of service. This is a category of supply of service. Okay, supply of service by a music composer, photographer, artist by way of so and so. Supplier of service, music composer, photographer, artist. Recipient of service, music company, producer, so and so. These were the recipient who were liable to pay what? Reverse charge. In case of music composer receives the amount, but who should pay? The person who receives the amount is a person who supplies something, right? But in this case, who should pay? Music company should pay. Okay, like that it goes. Okay, so going further, a new entry has been inserted. Okay, what is that new entry? New entry is only with respect to author. Only with respect to what? Author. You can see over here. Only with respect to author. Okay, very important to note. So what is the category of service? Services, supply of service by an author. By an author. No other categories over there. That's why I highlighted author here. That's why I highlighted author here. Okay, so chances, more chance, questions can be asked. Okay, so please, supplier of service, author. Author receives, right? So recipient of service arana, publisher is the recipient of service. However, an author can choose, not a music composer. Okay, there are several category of services coming under C, right? But this option is available only for arana, only for Author. Okay, remember author. An author can choose. So default. In default, it is reverse charge. In default, it is reverse charge. So he can choose to pay forward charge. If, when he can choose, if he has taken registration under CGST and filed a declaration in the prescribed form, that what he should declare? What he should declare? He excised the option to pay CGST on said service under forward charge, and this should be satisfied together. Expect a theory question from this, okay, or objective from this area. Very important. To comply with all the provision, they apply to a person liable to pay tax in relation to supply of any goods or services, and that he shall not withdraw the said option within a period of 1 year from the date of excising such option. He should continue. He should continue for 1 year period. Okay, he should not change. He should not withdraw from that option. So he should excise, and he should continue. These are the two declarations that which he should make. So he makes a declaration on the invoice issued by him in the prescribed form to the publisher. So he should make this declaration in the invoice given to the publisher. Okay. So later on, he declares like this, and actually the publisher is liable to pay, right? Publisher is liable to pay, and the officer comes to the department comes to the publisher, and the department parayana, publisher, pay the tax. Definitely he can show this invoice to him. See sir, author have written here, declared that he will pay under forward charge. Okay, so this is a theoretical question that which can be asked for this exam. Okay, this is very, very, very important. A new service has been added to. A new service has been added. What is that new service? Added to where? Added to reverse charge. Added to reverse charge. Okay. So renting of motor vehicle provided to who? Provided to body corporate. What's a body corporate? Already we have seen. What's a business entity? An entity that which is doing a business. Simple, right? So it can be an individual, it can be a partnership firm, it can be LLP, it can be OPC, it can be private limited company, it can be anything. But what is a body corporate? Will that include a proprietorship concern? Will that include a partnership? No. A body corporate means a private limited, public limited company, or PC, such related companies. Okay, so that is a body corporate. So let's see who is a supplier of service. Very, very important notification. Please study this. Okay, don't miss this one. Any person other than a body corporate. That means I'll write here partnership firm, proprietor, AOP, goes on like this, etc. Okay, so who is paying CGST at 2.5%? So 2.5 plus 2.5 comes to 5%. SGST will also come on renting of input tax credit only in the same line of business. Any person other than a body corporate means these are the suppliers. Okay, supplier. So other than body corporate, and the recipient, who will be the recipient? Body corporate will be the recipient. So in this case, who is liable to pay? Body corporate is liable to pay. This is under which section is this? This under 9 subsection 3. This will come under 9 subsection 3, reverse charge. Now 9 subsection 4 is not there. Okay, it's applicable only for the real estate transaction. 9 subsection 4, unregistered person to registered. 9 subsection 3 are the listed. So where we can include actually this one, actually good looking individual is sad. We can include in R. Okay, recovery agent. R square we can say. Recovery agent. R is renting of motor vehicle. Amendment. Very, very important. And in S there are two. What are they? S is sponsorship, and next is security. Security amendment came last time. Okay, remember that security amendment, very, very important. But this time, renting is more important. Okay, please do learn that. And one more point is there. You can just read it out of your own. Okay, renting is very, very important. So the supplier is other than body corporate. I would be a proprietor. I am renting my motor vehicle to a company. Okay, so I will receive the payment. I am the supplier. I am supposed to pay, but here the company is liable to pay. I am a proprietor, and I am hiring giving on hire my car to a proprietor to proprietor. In that case, what will come? Reverse charge or forward charge? What will come? Forward charge. Why? The recipient is not a body corporate. I hope it is clear. So service by way of next is one point. Category of supplier of service. Service of lending of securities under securities lending scheme. Okay, who is a supplier? Supplier of services. The lender is a supplier of service. Who is liable to pay? Recipient is a borrower. Hello all. So നമ്മുടെ ലാസ്റ്റ് സെഷനായ എക്സംഷൻസിലേക്ക് നമുക്ക് കടക്കാം. ഇവിടെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ടോപ്പിക്സ് ഞാൻ ആദ്യമേ പറഞ്ഞു പോകാം. ഓക്കെ, ആദ്യം തന്നെ എക്സംഷന്റെ നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ നമ്പർ എന്താണ് എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ചോദ്യം. വാട്ട്സ് ദ നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ നമ്പർ ഫോർ എക്സംഷൻ? ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് 12/2017. If you get a question from exemption chapter, never ever forget to write the notification number, that is 12/2017. ഇനി അത് ഓൺലൈൻ ഞാൻ എങ്ങനെയാണ് എടുക്കേണ്ടതെന്ന് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു ജനറൽ അവയർനെസ്സിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഞാൻ കാണിച്ചു തരാം. ദിസ് ഈസ് എ വെബ്സൈറ്റ് cbic.gov.in. ഇവിടെ GST എന്നുള്ള ഓപ്ഷൻ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്യുക. ഇവിടെ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്ത് കഴിയുമ്പോഴേക്കും ഇങ്ങനെ കുറച്ച് ഓപ്ഷൻസ് വരും. നടുക്കത്തെ ഇതില് GST rates ready reckoner എടുക്കുക. And here you can see GST rates ready reckoner, and definitely exemption services ന്റെ ഇതിലാണ് നമ്മൾക്ക് ഉള്ളത്, ഗുഡ്സിന് നിങ്ങൾക്കില്ല. സോ കൺസോളിഡേറ്റഡ് നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ പല ചേഞ്ചസ് ഇങ്ങനെ വന്നുകൊണ്ടേ ഇരിക്കുമല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ യു കൻ സീ ഹിയർ ദിസ് ഇസ് ടാക്സബിലിറ്റിന്റെ ബേസിസിലാണ്. ദിസ് ഈസ് യുവർ നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ, ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് കൺസോളിഡേറ്റഡ് നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ 12/2017. അപ്പൊ ഇങ്ങനെ കാലക്രമേണ ഇങ്ങനെ കുറെ എക്സംഷൻസ് ഇങ്ങനെ ആഡ് ഓൺ ചെയ്ത് വരും. അതെല്ലാം കൂടി കൺസോളിഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ ലിസ്റ്റ് ആണ് ഇത്. ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ ഓൾറെഡി ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ഓൾ ഇന്ത്യ എല്ലാവരും തന്നെ നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, ഇവിടെ ഞാൻ ആദ്യമേ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് അല്ലെ, CTR, ITR കണ്ടോ, യു ക്യാൻ സീ ഹിയർ CTR, ITR നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് ആൻഡ് ഓൾ. ഓക്കെ, ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് എടുക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, ആക്ട് എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇവിടെ അമെൻമെന്റ് ആക്ട് അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആക്ട്സ് എല്ലാം ഉണ്ട്. ഇവിടെ നിന്നാണ് എടുക്കുന്നത്. GST.gov.in ആണ് ഒഫീഷ്യൽ വെബ്സൈറ്റ്. ബട്ട് സ്റ്റിൽ ഇവിടെ നിന്നാണ് CBICയുടെ വെബ്സൈറ്റിൽ നിന്നാണ് നമ്മൾ എല്ലാം തന്നെ വി ആർ ഡൗൺലോഡിങ് ഓൾ ദി നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് ആൻഡ് ഓൾ. സോ ഇനി നമ്മൾ എക്സംഷൻസിന്റെ ചാപ്റ്റർ നോക്കാം, അപ്ഡേറ്റ്സ് നോക്കാം. സോ വൺ ബൈ വൺ ഞാൻ വേഗം പറഞ്ഞു തീർക്കാം. എക്സംഷൻസിന്റെ കുറച്ച് ഉണ്ട്, ഇതിനകത്താണ് കണ്ടന്റ് കുറച്ചധികം ഉള്ളത്. പിന്നെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളത് ഇവിടെ ആദ്യമേ തന്നെ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ there is a major change over here. ചെറിയൊരു ചേഞ്ച് ആണ്, പക്ഷെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ചേഞ്ച് ആണ്. നേരത്തെ ഹോട്ടലുകൾ അപ് ടു 999 വരെയാണ് ഹോട്ടൽസിന് എക്സംഷൻ ഉണ്ടായി, 999 വരെ. ഇപ്പോ 1000 rupeesന്റെ റൂം വരെ എന്താണ് എക്സംപ്റ്റഡ് ആണ്. യു ക്യാൻ സീ ഹിയർ, ഞാൻ ഇത് മാത്രം വായിക്കാം, ചേഞ്ച് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത് മാത്രം. യു ക്യാൻ സീ ഹിയർ early accommodation of services were exempt only where value of supply per unit was less than 1000 ആണെങ്കിൽ exempted ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നുള്ളൂ. ശരിയല്ലേ? That is what 999 ആയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ I will write here 999. Okay, ഇപ്പോ now you will see what is the change. That is, such service were taxable value of supply per unit was 1000 rupees or more either. However, now exemption also extended in case of supply where per day unit is 1000. അപ്പൊ 1000 ആണെങ്കിലാണ് ഇപ്പൊ എന്താ ഹോട്ടൽ റൂംസിന്റെ കാര്യത്തിൽ എക്സംഷൻ ഉള്ളത്. ഒബ്ജക്റ്റീവ് യു ക്യാൻ എക്സ്പെക്ട്. ഓക്കെ, എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും? ചിലപ്പോ 999 എന്നായിരിക്കും പറയുന്നത്, ചിലപ്പോ എന്താ പറയുന്നത് 1000 എന്നായിരിക്കാം പറയുന്നത്. സോ യു ക്യാൻ എക്സ്പെക്ട് എനി കോമ്പിനേഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഇത് നല്ലൊരു മാറ്റമാണ്. യു ക്യാൻ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഫ്രം ദിസ്. സോ earlier I will write here, earlier up to 999 was exempt. Okay, now now up to 1000 is exempt. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു ഹോട്ടലിൽ താമസിക്കാനായിട്ട് പോവാണ്, അവിടുത്തെ റൂം റെന്റ് 1000 റുപ്പീസ് ആണെങ്കിൽ ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി അതിന് എന്ത് വരില്ല, GST ചാർജ് ചെയ്യില്ല. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ഈ അപ്ഡേഷൻ അറിഞ്ഞിരുന്നില്ല, പഴയത് വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് പറയുന്നതെങ്കിൽ 1000 ആണല്ലോ, സോ GST ഷുഡ് ബി ചാർജ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ തെറ്റിപ്പോകും. ഓക്കെ, ക്ലിയർ? സോ അടുത്ത കുറച്ച് മാറ്റങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ പോവാം. കുറച്ച് ലെങ്തി ആണത്. So you can see here clarification regarding applicability of GST on delayed payments charges in case of late payment of equated monthly installment. Okay, issue. I will read the issue first. GST is payable on എന്തിലാണ്, additional or penal interest. എന്തിലാണ് payable ആണെന്ന് വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്, additional or overdue loan. Whether such penal interest ആണ് ട്ടോ, സാധാരണ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് അല്ല. I will highlight the word penal. It is not the usual interest. They are asking penal interest. Exempt notification. Notification, or it would be taxable, treating it as a consideration for liquidating damages. Definitely, you can expect a question. Okay. So we can say the area. Clarification. I will read the clarification. As per section provisions of section 15 subsection 2 clause D. Hope you all remember section 15. CA lipstick. Those who haven't attended can YouTube the video link, value of supply Antony Sebastian. You will be able to cover the value of supply chapter, okay, with this code word. So the value of supply shall include interest or late fee or penalty. How we can remember this? This is lip in the lipstick code word, that which I said right now, late fee, interest, penalty, that which is mentioned over here. Okay, include. So this includes. So this is penal interest, right? So value of supply includes this interest. Okay, going ahead, entry number 27 of exemption exempts. What exempts? Services by way of extending deposits, loans, or advances in so far consideration. How the consideration should be interest or discount. You can see here. Here the consideration is what? Interest. Okay, and this is for something that which they had extended as advance, loan. Okay, so over here I have taken the list. You can see here interest. I'll search for here interest. You can see extending the see. This is there in the list 12/2017 list. This is how you should connect. Okay, exemption chapter. There's a beautiful story for the exemption chapter, right? So extending deposits, so and so. So this is a category. So this is there in the exemption list. Here interest means interest payable in any manner in respect of any money borrowed, debt incurred, including a deposit claim or other similar right or obligation, but does not include what? Any service fee or other charge. So this is the consideration should be by way of what? Interest or discount, then it is exempt. If it is by way of other, like loan processing charges, commission, bank charges, all those are subject to GST. If the consideration, this is not only in case of what? Bank or financial institution. If you are giving a loan to someone else and you are receiving interest, you are receiving 50 lakhs as interest, no GST is applicable. Why? It is exempt as per notification 12/2017. So moving ahead, I'll read this one. There are two transaction options involving EMI. What is EMI? Equated monthly installments, that are prevalent in the trade. In view of the provisions of law discussed in preceding para, two options. We are going to discuss two options. How it can be two options. Okay. Illustration 1. You must have heard about you or me. You is me, like a sannyasi, right? You can YouTube that video. I'm just going to illustrate something like that. You and me. Okay. So don't troll me after this class. Okay. So I'm selling, you can YouTube that Swamiji's video. There are so many trolls based on that. Okay. So but what he's saying is very much meaningful. I'm selling a mobile phone to you Okay, I'm selling a mobile phone to you. There are two options for EMI. That's what we are going to analyze right now. I'm selling a mobile phone to you. I'm selling this phone to you, and the cost of the phone is say 40,000. The cost of the phone is say 40,000. However, I give you an option. I'm giving you an option. Pay installments of 11,000 every month. So before 10th of the following month. Okay. So installments I'm giving over 4 months. So 11,000 into 4, it comes to how much? So 11,000 into 4 comes to 44,000, right? So actually, what is the price of the mobile? It is 40,000, but I'm getting 4,000 extra, right? So as per the contract, if there is any delay in payment by you beyond the scheduled date, you will be liable to pay additional penal interest to me. How much? 500 per month for the delay. Okay. So in some instances, I may charge you rupees 40,000 for the mobile and is separately issuing another invoice for providing services for extending loan to you. The consideration for which the interest 2.5% per month. It comes to how much? 4,000. Okay, 2.5% per month. Okay, so 2.5% per month means 2.5 into 4 comes to 10%. So 10% of 40,000 is 4,000. Okay, so that is interest. Okay, interest is there in our lip. This is a situation where bank is not involved. This is a situation where I am selling my phone directly to you. Okay, and I am charging from you. Okay, so interest is a consideration. An additional penal interest would be charged 500 per month for each delay in the payment. Okay, this is a transaction. You see here, in this case, amount of penal interest is to be included in the value of supply in terms of section 15 subsection 2. Why? Those who have attended my class or those who haven't attended my class, please go and listen to the value of supply chapter in YouTube. Please YouTube it. Okay. So LIP, L-I-P, late fee, interest, penalty. This should be added to the value of supply. So here interest, it will form part of the value of supply as per section 15. The transaction between me and you is for supply of taxable goods, that is mobile phones. Accordingly, the penal interest would be taxable in this case. So just imagine it's a transaction between the seller of the mobile and the customer, irrespective of the manner of invoice. Now let's see second scenario. Okay, here bank is involved, a lender is involved. Okay, now let's see, a third person is involved, you and me and a third person. In this case, interest and penal interest is exempt. Let's see the situation. I am selling a mobile phone to you. I am selling this mobile phone to you. The cost of the mobile phone is how much? 40,000. You have the option to avail loan from ABC Limited at interest rate of how much? 2.5% per month for purchasing the mobile. The terms of the loan from the financing company. Okay, so I will write here it as financing company. That's easy. So 2.5 purchasing mobile, avail loan from financing company limited at the rate of 2.5% for purchasing. So you entered into a contract with them. The terms of the loan from Mrs. Financing Company Limited allows you for 4 months to repay the loan and an additional penal interest of 1.25% for any delay in payment. Okay, so I was charging 2.5%, 1,000 per month, and the penal interest of 500 for the delay. They are charging 2.5% interest and penal interest of 1.25% for the delay. Here, additional penal interest charged for a transaction between you, not me, between you and the financing company. Exempt. It is exempt. Why? They are lending you the money. With that money, you are purchasing the mobile phone. Okay, that is a transaction. And you and me will not have any connection after the sale transaction. You will be settling the amount with that financing company. The normal way of with maybe Bajaj and all, it's a common transaction that which happens, right? So consequently, in this case, penal interest, penal interest charged thereon between you, not me, okay, you and the financing company would not be subject to GST. See here, would not be subject to. Hope it is clear. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളും ഫിനാൻസിങ് കമ്പനിയായിട്ടുള്ളതിന്റെ ഇതില് GST വരില്ല. Why? They are lending. I was not lending to you. I sold my mobile and I was charging. I was collecting the amount in installment. They are lending to you and charging interest. And how did you purchase a mobile from me? From that borrowed amount, you gave me the amount, correct? As the same would be charged under the exemption entry. However, only interest, again I will take over here, interest or discount is exempt. Any other charge like loan processing charge, loan processing charge or bank charges, okay, any other commission charges, all are subject to GST. So here in this case, financing companies there, they are charging interest. Okay, so consequently, in case the penal interest charged between you and financing company will not be subject to GST. Why? Because the consideration that which they receive is by way of interest. Okay, so in that case, in the second situation, it will be out of GST and would not be subject to GST, as the same would be covered under the said exemption that which I showed you right now. However, any service fees charged, definitely it will be leviable to GST. Okay, only interest will be exempt from GST. Accordingly, will not be exempt. Okay, accordingly will not be exempt. Okay. So first situation was just you and me. I am selling my mobile to you, for which I am receiving the amount in 4 installments. So the interest that which I charge from you forms part of the consideration. Section 15. But in the second situation, it's different. You are taking loan from a bank or financial institution, and with that amount, you are buying the mobile phone from me. Okay. And the amount that which they receive is by way of interest. And the first transaction that which I received directly without the banking company, just you and me, how did I receive? It's a sale consideration for which I charged an additional amount. Okay, so that will form part of my supply and will be taxable. In the second situation, interest will be exempt. I hope it's clear. Okay. EMI, they have given what is EMI and all. Okay, so moreover, value of supply by X is me to Y, that is you, would be 40,000 for the purpose of levy of what? GST. It is further that is in the second scenario, because I'll be selling to you at a value of what? 40,000. You will be paying interest and everything to the bank, not to me. Okay, for in the second scenario, this will be the value for GST. Okay. Next is Residents Welfare Association. Okay, Residents Welfare Association in flats. Those who are staying in flats, there will be a monthly charge, maybe 2,000, 2,400 for the maintenance and all. Okay, for the waste removal, for everything like that, for sewage, for cleaning everyone, for the sweepers. A monthly charge will be there. Okay, residents mainly this is seen in flats. Okay. So maybe 2,000 if it's a prestige flat or something like that, it will be maybe 10,000 per month. Okay, some like that it goes. Okay, so there is a ceiling limit fixed. If the monthly subscription is 7,500, the monthly subscription, I'll take Excel, 7,500. Let's see whether GST will be charged or not. Okay, so there is a threshold limit. like in brand ambassador and all, you remember in exemption chapter 1,50,000. Okay, if it is brand ambassador, then no exemption limit is available. Okay, if it is classical dance and or folk, then 1,50,000 exemption limit is available. Like that, for residents association also there is an exemption limit. Okay. RWA, Resident Welfare Association, RWA. Okay, so there are so many welfare residents, so like this. Okay, in the flat there will be how do residents welfare association work, so like that. Okay, so this is a situation, that we are going to explain. I'll explain it quickly. Okay, so it's a circular. Based on that, a clarification was released. Are maintenance charges paid by the RWA exempt? That is the first question. Exempt ano? Whether it is exempt? Yes, exempt. Up to 7,500 per month per member, it is exempt. Exempt up to, the spelling mistake, 7,500 per month per member, it is exempt. So the next question arises, if a member contributes 7,501 rupee, that is in excess of 7,500, how it will be taxed? Entire 7,500 will be taxed, or 1 rupee will be taxed. Okay, contributes 7,501. Question is, entire 7,501 will be taxed, or only ₹1 will be taxed? By up to 7,500 is exempt. This is another question. Next question. So let's see whether that is a point that should be analyzed. Let's see what is the next question over here. What is the objective of this exemption? Assume 7,500 per month is received. Okay, assume 7,500. Sorry, assume 7,500 per month is received. There are, assume 35 members. Okay, so 35 members. So in a month, what will be the amount into 35? 2,60,000. In a year, this amount, monthly amount, into 12. You see here, 31 lakh 7,000. I will make this one 7,000 rupees. Okay, so this is 29 lakh 40,000. What is the GST threshold limit? 20 lakhs, right? 20 lakhs is a threshold limit. It exceeded 20 lakhs. The question is whether they should take GST registration. What is the answer? Yes or no? Registration edukano vendayo? Whether they should take or not? 20 lakhs exceed idu. Answer is no. Why? Because the subscription amount is 7,000. It did not exceed the exemption limit of 7,500. It did not exceed. So accumulative, assume this is there are 100 members. 84 lakhs only. 84 lakhs is the total amount. Still no registration required. Why? Because subscription up to 7,500 is exempt. I hope it is clear. This, otherwise, what is the need of this exemption? What is the need of this exemption? 20 lakhs this is the requirement of exemption. I hope it is clear. Then going further, this is the explanation. You see here, more than 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs, more than 20 lakhs. Monthly maintenance charges, more than 20 lakhs. Whether exempt? No. As I said right now, 20 lakhs exceeded. More than 20 lakhs. But monthly subscription is less than 7,000. Exempt? Yes. Example that which I showed. See here, 20 lakhs or less annual turnover. Maintenance is how much? Definitely it is 20 lakhs, less than 20 lakhs, right? Even the membership charge is 10,000 also, 10,000 also it will be exempt. Why? Threshold limit exemption always available. Okay, threshold limit exemption is always available. Okay. So over here, if it is 10,000 per month and there are say 10 apartments into 10, or in a month it comes to 1 lakh. So I'll multiply this into 12. So it comes to how much? 12 lakhs. So even though it exceeds the threshold limit, even though exceeded threshold limit, did not exceed 20 lakhs. So exempt. So no registration required. Okay. I hope you understood the combinations. Okay. Next, whether RW is entitled to take ITC of GST paid. Entitled to take ITC of input service capital goods. They are entitled to take ITC. Okay, if they are liable to collect GST. If they are liable to collect GST. If there is no GST liability, they are not required to get the GST registration. So there is the question of availing input tax credit will not arise. Okay. Next, if I own two flats in the same building. Okay, or 2 apartments in the same building. Okay. Monthly subscription I gave is 5,000. So I have got 2 apartments, 5,000 plus 5,000, it comes to 10,000. Okay. Will I be eligible? Will I be eligible for the exemption limit of 7,500? Okay. You can see here, I have 2 apartments. Just a second. So I have 2 apartments, 5,000 for one and 5,000 for another. In total, I am paying what? Monthly subscription of 10,000, right? So individual exemption applicable. Individual exemption applicable. Okay. So for this I will get 7,500 limit. For this one also I will get 7,500 limit. I hope that's clear. So I hope that one is clear to you. RWA. Okay. So for example, if a person owns 2 residential apartments in a complex, in a flat, and pays 15,000, 7,500, 7,500. He's a single person. So whether he's whether he's eligible for 7,500 each or a consolidated amount of 7,500 is a question. So pays 15,000 per month as maintenance charge towards 7,500 per month in respect of each residential apartment is available. Okay, so in respect of each residential apartment is available. And one more thing is that for example, if monthly subscription payment is rupees 7,501, question, entire 7,501 is taxable or just 1 rupees is taxable? Sorry, taxable. Answer, entire 7,501 becomes taxable. Okay, perfect. So we'll discuss 2 more points, and I hope RW is clear to you. RW is simply nothing but it's Residents Welfare Association. Okay. Next question is DG shipping. Okay, Director General Shipping approved maritime courses conducted by maritime training institutes in India. Whether it is exempt, and will that one will be classified under educational institution is the query. See here, I already discussed in the last attempt YouTube video, right? Fees, services provided to by way of fees and services provided by to school means by by school is exempt. Services provided to fees is what? Exempt. Fee, faculty. E, educated students. E, entrance examination. S, staff. S is what? Security, then cleaning, housekeeping. O is like the online journal. That's the only odd thing that would stand out. O is omnibus and L is lunch. So you can study this educational institution with this code word. So the question is whether DG shipping approved maritime courses will fall under educational institution is or not is the question. Answer, I will go to the answer directly. Maritime training institution are educational institution under GST law. So it is exempt. Okay, no GST is required to be collected. If I'm a chartered accountant, I am taking classes for students, definitely I'll be liable to collect GST. All training institutions, CA coaching centers will be liable to collect GST. So educational institution definition is there. I hope everyone knows that up to +2 we study, right? So up to +2 there will be what? Preschool, LKG, UKG, and from 1st standard to 12th standard. That is that are two category. Preschool up to HSS, then vocational education, and the approved institutions for CA, for BCom, MBA, all those are education. IIM. Okay, IIM is now what? Clubbed with the provisions of educational institution. So this is another updation that got released. Next one is what? Classification effective date. Let's see effective date. Okay, for example, effective date. I will give an example and then I will just read out. Okay, example, notification was released on maybe 1st October 2018. Okay, notification was released on 1st October. Later on 1st May 2019, an explanation was provided about notification. The question is, what is the effective date of explanation? Whether 1/10/2018 or 1/5/2019. This is a question. If explanation came, explanation was given to above notification on 1st May. That is after October, November, December, and after 8 months or after 7 months, say. So, which is the effective? This one or this one? I will say this one is the effective date of notification. The explanation. So, answer is 1/10/2018. Okay, this is the answer. You can expect in a objective type of question. Okay, now I will read. Now you will understand. Section 11(3) of CGST Act provides that government may insert explanation. See, okay, give an example, right? Government may insert an explanation. Explanation was inserted in any notification issued under Section 11 for the purpose of scope or applicability at any time within 1 year. Within 1 year, they should release of issue of notification. That is another point that which should be kept in mind. I didn't say that point over there. It is hereby clarified that explanation having been inserted 11(3) of CGST Act is effective from the beginning of the entry on the notification, not from the date which the notification becomes effective. That inserted said explanation. Okay, so from the beginning of the entry in notification, not from the date from which notification becomes effective. For example, 28/6/2017, 11/2017 notification came into force with effect from 1/7. That is a GST date. GST date came into force. GST first date, advent date. Thereafter, a new entry inserted when 21st September 2017 new entry was inserted. Subsequently, an explanation was given. When explanation was given? On 26 July 2018. Okay, 26 July 2018. To this entry and explanation, although the effective date mentioned in the notification which inserted said explanation is 27 July 2018, said explanation will be effective from the inception of the entry in the notification, that is when 21 2019. So that's what I said over here, not the insertion of the explanation, but the explanation to which, I mean the to which notification it is inserted, or to which notification it is explained. From that notification date it will become effective. This is another. So DG shipping courses, it's an education institution, no GST exemption is available, and the effective date of this explanation. Okay, this is another point. So these are the major changes or amendments in the exemption chapter. I will just go through few other points that which we have left over here. I will just quickly read. Service by general insurance provider under Bangla Shasya Bima scheme have been exempted. Okay, you just note it down and remember this. Since FIFA there is one amendment. Since FIFA under 17, U17, under 17 Women's World Cup 2020 is to be hosted in India, admission to events exempt. Okay, organized and rate exempt. Okay, admission is exempt. Then this one we already saw, 1000. Then this is another point. Since FIFA under 17 Women's World Cup 2020 is to be hosted in India, exemption has been granted to what? To services provided by and to FIFA and its subsidiaries. Okay, so by FIFA and to FIFA exempted and subsidiaries. Then what is next point here? Due to encourage extensive usage of electric vehicles, what they have given the exemption, GST extended to hiring of electric bus by local authorities exempt. Okay, hiring of electric buses, not lorries, it's electric bus by local authorities are also exempt. Okay, other changes you can read it out. Okay, over here there are a few other changes that which are said. Okay, so this is exemption chapter. Please read this one also, first entry number 7. Okay, so with this we have covered the entire updates in GST with analysis. I hope it's maybe slightly time consuming, പക്ഷെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും മനസ്സിലായെന്ന് ഞാൻ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. ദയവ് ചെയ്ത് ഇത്രയധികം സമയം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടിയതാണ്. ദയവ് ചെയ്ത് എല്ലാവരും ഇരുന്ന് പഠിക്കുക. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടവർക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ നല്ലൊരു റിസൾട്ട് കൊടുക്കാനായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കഴിയണം. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കഴിയില്ല ഒരുപക്ഷെ നിങ്ങൾ വിചാരിച്ചേക്കാം, പക്ഷെ ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിന് കഴിയും കേട്ടോ. അപ്പോൾ സെൽഫ് മോട്ടിവേഷൻ ഇസ് വെരി വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. സ്റ്റഡി മേ ബി അപ് ടു 10 hours മിനിമം ഐ വിൽ സേ. എന്നിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മാക്സിമം പോർഷൻസ് ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം കവർ ചെയ്താൽ പോരാ. യു ഹാവ് ടു കവർ മിനിമം 2 to 3 times. ഒരു 3 പ്രാവശ്യമെങ്കിലും എല്ലാ പ്രോബ്ലംസിലും ടിക്ക് വരട്ടെ. മേക്ക് യുവർ ഓൺ നോട്ട്സ്. ഓക്കെ, time will not wait for you. So നമ്മൾ കോമ്പീറ്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കണം. അതർവൈസ് time will run beyond us. Okay, നമ്മൾ ബാക്കിലായി പോവരുത്. You just run fast and സമയത്തെ നിങ്ങൾ അതിജീവിക്കൂ. Okay, and make your near and dear ones proud and let them say and let yourself say that I conquered CA. ഓക്കെ, സോ ബി കോൺഫിഡന്റ്. നിങ്ങൾ ഒരിക്കലും സമയം കളയരുത്. ഉറങ്ങുക, മര്യാദക്ക് ഭക്ഷണം കഴിക്കുക, മൊബൈലിൽ അധികം നേരം സമയം കളയരുത്. ദയവ് ചെയ്ത് പഠിക്കാനുള്ള ഭാഗങ്ങൾ മാത്രം ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ഫോൺ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുക. മനസ്സിലായില്ലേ? അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ദിസ് ടൈം വോണ്ട് കം അഗെയിൻ, my dear friends. So study well and succeed this time itself. Otherwise, just imagine opening these books and learning amendments again in the next attempt. Oh my God. So just study and pass this time itself. Thank you very much.